everyone. It's wonderful to have you back on our YouTube channel. My name is Gospel.
And my name is Amara.
So today we'll be discussing something really important, which we know families would be happy to hear us talk about them. Do you want to start off, please?
Yes, actually, it's April already.
Yeah.
And sometimes people, or most times, people actually start making their plans at the start of the year. Saying, oh, this is what I'm going to achieve, this is what I'm going to achieve, this is what I'm going to achieve. However, we've decided to talk about today smart family goals.
Yeah, it's important because sometimes people start off the year with those goals, but over time, things happen.
Yeah, it
they
wanes.
Don't even know where to go from where they are.
Exactly.
So this is more like a reminder.
Absolutely. Now today we just want to talk about smart family goals. You might have a very fantastic vision for your family, but if you don't have a plan as to how you want to actualize your vision, then you would just be talking about it, you would just be reminiscing about it. And the reason why we decided to focus on this is that we found that having a conversation with a lot of couples, we found that they have a fantastic goal, but they do not have realistically how to actualize the goal. So you might have a vision, but without a plan, then the vision goes to waste.
If I ask you, do you want to be rich? A lot of people will say, yes, I want to be wealthy, I want to have money. But a lot of those people who say they want to have money are not rich because one of the reasons could be that they don't have goals in terms of how they want to
actualize their vision.
And some people have goals, they don't know how to break it down in a way that they can achieve those goals. So it's not enough to have New Year resolution.
Yeah.
It's about making it happen.
Absolutely. Now there is an acronym that I'm sure that a lot of our viewers out there, already about these things, and we applying it to this, and we just want to talk about SMART. Now the S for it stands for specific. So your goal must be clear, or your goals must be clear. It must be precise. You must be able to explain clearly what you want to achieve without any sort of vagueness. So if it's vague, if it's complex, if it's convoluted, then it's not clear.
As a husband, you might say to your wife, don't worry, honey.
Yeah.
I'm going to be rich. So that this money matter will be able to sort it out. The question the woman would ask in her head is,
how?
How do you make it happen? If you say you want to be rich, how much do you want to make at the end of the year? You have to be specific. Don't just tell me, hey honey, I want to be rich.
Yeah.
That's vague.
Yeah. Or you want to achieve a target. I mean, it's all about stating. So for example, I want to make $30,000 in income. That's very specific.
Yeah.
I want us by the end of the year to have saved $130,000. That's now very specific. But again, you have to go beyond just stating that and looking at the figure. How much are you earning? What are you doing now? How can we save this amount of money? If we have paid all the maintenance, bills, everything, what is left? So it's all about sitting down and breaking it down, but putting numbers to it. It's not just enough to have a wish list, but you have to be very specific as to what you want to achieve.
Yeah, we are talking about money, but if you bring it to relationship, you say, oh, I want to improve the quality of our relationship.
Yep.
How? You have to be specific. Which area of your relationship do you want to improve? Is it your communication with your spouse? Is it how you resolve conflict? You have to pinpoint those areas that impact on your relationship that you want to improve. It could be your sex life. You think things are not working in that area and you want to improve on it.
Yes.
So you have to clearly state your goal in terms of different angles, different elements of your life, your spiritual life, your financial life, your marriage and all that, and make it clear for everyone in the family to understand.
Let's take the second one, which is M. M stands for measurable. Your goal has to be measurable so that you will know when you've achieved it. So if we say, for example, you want to keep fit, maybe you're overweight, that might be a goal that you want to achieve. Now you want to look at, first of all, weigh yourself, and ask yourself, maybe your calorie counts, what do I weigh now? What do I hope to weigh in the next 4 weeks, in the next 8 weeks, in the next 12 weeks? And then you begin to walk towards those. Now, how many hours do you want to spend a week on your personal development? Maybe that's a goal that you want to achieve, and you want to say, okay, I want to be able to spend at least an hour or at least 30 minutes doing a specific thing towards my personal development.
Yeah, it's good that your goal is measurable. And I also pointed down to quality of your relationship. Someone could say, how do I measure the quality of my relationship if that's my goal? And I'm specific about improving our communication. It's difficult to actually put numbers to that. I think in that sense, I
think you can do that in terms of numbers, maybe hours, maybe minutes. So how long do you spend talking about that thing that has to do with the relationship and not necessarily anything that has to do with other people's relationship? Okay, you know what, honey, we're going to spend 1 hour just talking about this and seeing how this can improve in our relationship. And I think in that way you can put a number to it in terms of time bound.
Yeah, you're correct. You're correct. So if you say you're going to spend an hour discussing with your spouse to have more intimacy, the other question would be, how do you measure the quality of your communication or your intimacy? I think your spouse can provide you with feedback. So you can sit down and say, how do you measure how much quality we've put in terms of our intimacy? You discuss it with your spouse. So that feedback from her or from him will be relevant in measuring it.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the next one is A being
achievable or actualizable.
Actualizable.
So it's not enough to say, this is actually what I want to do. Can you achieve it? I hear people say, I want to be a billionaire. How do you achieve that? So it is more like a wish or a dream if the goals you're setting or the plans you have cannot make your dream or your vision come true.
Yes, and the thing is, you have to set a vision or a goal that is achievable. Like you're saying, you need something, you need some sort of motivation to keep going. So if your goal already to you is not achievable, then you're not motivated to achieve it, because it's more or less you're self-sabotaging yourself, you're kind of setting up yourself to fail. Exactly. Yeah. So if you do not make your goal ambitious such that, wow, this is something I want to achieve. Looking at, for example, you say your monthly income is 10K or $10K or pounds, whatever currency you're earning with. And then you aim to achieve maybe a little bit more, maybe 15K a month.
Yeah,
now the question is, how do you want to achieve it? But if you say your monthly income is 10K or pounds a month, and now you're wishing to achieve 100 million. Wow.
The jump is massive.
Yeah.
So
it could just be an idea. It could just be a dream.
But some people will tell you, oh, I'm going to pray about it and believe in my God that miracles do happen.
Yeah, they do happen.
Yeah.
We believe in miracles. But I think that in this case, you have to be realistic. You have to check and know, okay, what are you doing, towards achieving that? And you have to be very clear on that. I mean, I've seen this happen a lot of times in relationship where people set very unrealistic expectation for their spouse, for themselves, and they put themselves under undue pressure.
It's like me telling you, with all that you have to do, with all that I have to do, if I say to you, we have to be having date nights every day of the week, is it actualizable? I'm asking you, do you think we can achieve that?
It would just be a chore. It wouldn't be interesting. It wouldn't be something you look forward to anymore, because it should now be a burden to you. Because, I mean, you have to be realistic about life.
We are not you wouldn't do it for doing sake.
Yeah.
You do it because there's something you want to achieve.
That's true.
Not necessarily, we take the bus, we do date night every day.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that.
You're not trying to prove anything to anybody. You're in a relationship for yourself.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what anybody is doing in your relationship, because sometimes people begin to get things in their wish lists and say this is something we want to do in our relationship because XYZ is doing it. Don't put yourself under pressure. Just find out what is achievable, what works for both of you, and then just stick to it.
And if you set up to achieve your goals and you realize that circumstances have changed that may impact on the possibility of achieving it, it's not set in stone. You can review things.
Adapt.
Yes, you can
be
review
flexible.
things, yeah, and create a kind of target you can meet.
Yeah, sure. Now let's move on to the next one, which is R. And R is for relevance. You must ensure that your goals for your marriage, for your family, for your relationship is relevant to your life and your priorities. You know, you cannot take someone else's goal and make it yours. It has to be you. You have to own it. You know, another couple's goal, like we were saying earlier on, is not something that you say, oh yeah, I'm going to do it. You know, I want to buy a good car because they bought a good car. I want to buy a good house because they bought a good house. The question is it a need? Is it something we really want in our relationship? And, you know, do we have the capacity to do this? Do you need further training? Do you need to be mentored? Do you need to be coached about it before you can begin to go into uncharted territories? Now, I'm not saying that, you know, don't go for the good things. It's fantastic to go for them, but just be informed. Because sometimes going for those good things put a strain on the relationship and then you guys begin to suffer in the relationship.
Yeah, and goals are not fixed. There are certain goals you come up with that are relevant for a certain time.
Absolutely.
For instance, if you want to empower yourself in terms of acquiring skills, it might be relevant for that time because you need a job. You need those skills to get a good job or be in business or make more income.
Yeah.
But after that period, you change your goals and set goals that are relevant for that time being.
True.
Or else you'll be doing things because every other person is doing it. It's just like when there was a lockdown, a lot of people went into online certification because everyone was saying, oh, you need to do online certification, you need to use your time, you need to do this or that. The question is, do you really need it?
Yeah.
Was it relevant to you at that time?
Yeah. I think to summarize what we're saying in terms of this particular being something, a goal being relevant is, does it align with your value as an individual? Does it align with your family vision? Does it align with your relationship vision? Because if it doesn't align and you're just trying to do it or trying to make it work for the sake of it, then what's the point?
Yeah. And your goals should always be in line with your personal goals, should always be in line with overall vision of the family. The last alphabet, T, stands for time bound. Your goal has to be time bound. You have to fix a time to it. This is one of the reasons some people procrastinate. When you say you want to do something and there is no time to it, you keep
I'll do it tomorrow.
saying I'll do it tomorrow.
Oh, maybe next week. It's not a good time.
Yeah.
This week was so busy.
I need to take you out, but I will do it next
It's
month.
not a good time. I've got work stuff.
Yeah.
I need to finish up this. I have this project to finish up. I have this deadline to finish up. You know that in life,
There is never a good time.
there's always one deadline or the other.
Yeah,
it could
there's
be
always
work
something.
deadline, it could be personal. There's always something. And I think it's all down to priority.
Exactly. The point is, if something is really, really important to you and you want to achieve it, you must fix a time to it. You must say to yourself, this is what I want to do, this is when I'm going to do it. Not just saying, this is when you want to do it. Start doing it. I like Nike adverts.
Just do it. Just do it.
Yes.
Get on with it. Because you know what? Life happens. Life is always passing. Life doesn't stop. Time is constantly ticking. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. And I always say to people, look, whatever you want to do, it's best to begin immediately and try to begin to, put yourself under that sort of, I have to do this, I have to get this sorted by this time. Because if you keep procrastinating, you find out that a year is gone and you're still trying to make it work.
Yeah, like you were saying, the point came to my mind. When you want to do something, break it down in baby steps. How much do you want to make in 1 month? Maybe you can start in a day. Have your step for day one, then 1 week, then 1 month, then 6 months, and then 1 year. And as long as you can put your time, that helps you to achieve it. So that when you achieve the first one, you know that when you compound it will help you achieve your overall goal.
Now, let me just say that there is no aspect of one's marriage or even one's personal life that does not require a good goal setting. And the SMART tool is very good. The SMART family goals should include all aspects of your marriage. You have to be healthy, or your marriage has to be healthy in every area. Okay, be it physical, be it intellectual, be it financial, be it social, be it spiritual, everything that could likely affect your marriage. So it has to be wholesome. You have to think about it in a 360-degree format.
Yeah, you have to have a holistic approach to goal setting. I think this SMART goal is relevant not just for family, it's relevant in business, it's relevant in your personal life. Whatever you want to achieve, you can use SMART goal. I also want to point out that if you are not married and you're in a relationship, you're having someone in your life you want to get married to, this is the time to start using SMART goals to set goals for your marriage.
Following up from what you're saying, during courtship, people who are intending couples or people who want to get married, they must learn to set goals before they even get married. And you have to look at, when do we want to get married? How many children do we want to have? Although some people might argue about this, some people might say, oh no, you don't have to discuss it, let's go with the flow. Well, it's all down to personal opinion. We're not here to say just do this or do that, but it's something you have to keep in perspective. So how many children, how do you want to raise them? Maybe that's something you want to talk about. Where would you want to live? What sort of career path do you want to take? How would it impact our family? Or would it do negatively, positively? These are sort of conversations that you might want to think about having. What's going to be the source of family income? That's something to discuss. I think so, something to discuss, but some people might, I beg to differ, but it's all down to personal preference. How do you want to manage it? What kind of marriage do you want to have? Because that's something people don't even want to think about. How do you desire to build this marriage? Because maybe that's something you want to think about. So goal setting, planning have always been a part of the process. And I don't think any people who are intending to go into marriage should ignore this, because this is an important part of a process, even in your marriage.
Yeah, let's even take it away from people who want to get married. If someone comes into your life and there's a relationship, there has to be a goal. What are we doing in this relationship? A young man is in the life of a young woman and they've been friends for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years.
What's the point?
Nothing is happening. He's not saying this is where we're going.
Exactly. What are we doing?
What are we doing? If you're listening to me and you're a lady in a relationship, you need to ask that question. What are we doing? You have to be specific. When are we getting married? If it's married. If he's not married, then what are we doing? So that it's defined. Everything has to be clear. I know this might sound like textbook approach, but we didn't want to, make it that way. There is no other way we could talk about SMART goal without using the approach we did. This is a tried and tested approach to achieving goals, and we believe if you implement it in your family relationship, you would be more productive, you'll be more organized, and you would enjoy better quality relationship.
Now, for some of you watching us, please just let us know what you think about the SMART goal. Maybe you don't use a SMART tool, maybe you use another tool. Please do let us know what it is, and if there are other areas that you think we possibly should have touched on in terms of helping people in their relationship achieve their goal. Please do share in the comment section below. Like, share with people you think might find value watching this. If you're new to our channel, please do not forget to hit the subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you know when we put content out. You're notified, you'll be the first to know.
Yeah.
And for all our returning subscribers, it's always a joy to have you guys back watching and engaging with our content. Now, until the next episode, it's goodbye from us.